Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I want to talk about Season 1 that will start on Tuesday and Wednesday depending on where you're playing from, and what you need to do first in order to make a lot of gold at the launch of Season 1. So with Season 1 we're getting a few new things. The first one of course is going to be the new raid, the Vault of the Incarnates. There is the start of the new Mythic Plus season, the start of the new Arena season, and we're also getting the Primal Storm invasion event across the different Dragon Isles. This is very similar to the previous event that we had for the pre-patch, but this time this is here in the Dragon Isles. So let's start with what is going to be the first thing, of course, that you want to do, and it's going through the Vault of the Incarnates raid. So this raid is going to be pretty interesting because you can get some pretty good BoEs by doing this raid. And also you can get some really good recipes, plans, and patterns. So this is definitely something you want to do in order to then get all these items and sell them on the auction house for a lot of gold. And keep in mind, the first few days, these items are going to sell for a lot of gold. So really try to focus on that. And normally you will be able to make tons of gold just by doing the raid. So as you're probably aware, unfortunately, they won't have some random BoEs that you can get by killing all the different trash in the raid. Instead of that, you will have some mini bosses across the raids that you can kill, and there is a guaranteed chance that they will drop some BoEs, but of course it's not like something that will be for everyone, because only like maybe 2 BoEs will drop or something like that. So what you want to do is try right now to gear up a little bit. It's not too difficult, honestly. Just do some Mythic 0, then just kill like some of the rares across the Dragon House. And normally like that, you will be able to probably like get at least 370, 380 eye level. And hopefully with this eye level, and depending on the spec and the class you're playing, you will be able to be invited in an Eric group. Also try to just maybe have a look at all the different strategies for all these different bosses, because again, you don't want to die on simple techniques and then be replaced, because otherwise you won't be able to go and kill the mini boss and have a chance at getting one of the BoEs. So this is really my main recommendation. And again, you will be able to be rewarded with some very good items. The first category of items are going to be all the different plans and patterns that you can get by doing all these different bosses. So actually, as you can see, for most of the professions, you will have at least 2 of these different plans and patterns. And it means that you will really be able to then sell them on the auction house for quite a lot of gold, because these are probably going to be things that people are going to like look for or forward to get. And so when you get the recipe, you can either, of course, learn it and then craft it through the crafting order system, or simply sell the recipe. I'm sure it will sell for a huge amount of gold. And again, you have that for most of the crafting professions. I'm not sure yet if there will have more chances, for instance, for them to drop in higher difficulty, or maybe if some specific bosses inside the raid will have more chance at dropping some of these recipes or plans. But this is something I will update you as soon as we learn more on how to get these different plans. And then, of course, we're going to get all the new BoEs, so all the different items I just talked about. So in total, we will have 2 per categories of items, and also 1 of the like rings that has a better eye level. So if you're doing it in Eric, basically all the different items will have an eye level of 402, and the ring can have an eye level of 408. Of course, it means that you have to go through almost the entire raid before you get the ring. But still, this is something that I'm sure will sell for a lot of gold on the auction house. So try to be amongst the first person to get it. And like that, you will be able to make quite a lot of gold. You can still probably make quite a lot of gold just by doing it on normal as well, because as you can see, it's 389 for all the BoEs and 395 for the ring. So I'm sure people will still buy these different items, so try to do it. Keep in mind that when it comes to Mythic, it will only be possible to farm some BoEs after the second week into phase 1. So for the first 2 weeks, all the different BoEs will be actually BOPs. And after that, they will make them become BoEs again. So for these 2 first weeks, the best items you will be able to get and to sell on the auction house are all these different Eric BoEs. So try to do that, and I'm sure if you get one, you will be able to sell it for a lot of gold. Then after that, we have the Primal Storm Invasion. So with this event, you will be able to get some plans and recipes that you can again sell on the auction house and that you will be able to probably sell for a lot of gold. So one of them is the Elemental Laria. This is this necklace that you can craft with jewel crafting. So I'm not sure again how difficult it will be to get the recipe. If there are specific categories of mobs that can drop the recipe, this is something I will update you on. But all you want to do is really try to join the groups in order to do these different invasions or these primal storms. And you will, if you have a chance at getting this, make a lot of gold just by doing so. And as you can see, even on my small pop realm, amongst the 4 only crafting orders that are here, 2 are for this elemental Laria. So I'm sure that there will have a lot of people who will be interested in getting it. Try to get the recipe as soon as possible. When it comes to the events, normally it's going to be very similar to the pre-patch events. So on the map, they will have these like elemental storms. So all you want to do is probably join a group or go by yourself and kill all the mobs that are here. As you can see, the mobs will be like imbued by this like elementally power, whatever. And so you just want to kill all these different mobs and hopefully you have a chance at getting this plan or this design. You will also be able to buy some pretty good gear with that, and you will also be able to buy a mount. So this is not something you'll do only for the plan, but try to get the plan because really you will make, I'm sure, during the first few days, a lot of gold just by selling this design on the auction house. And if it's the same as with all these other plans, patterns, and recipes that you can get and then sell on the auction house, I don't think that you will need to play on a jewel crafter in order to get it. Again, I cannot confirm for sure, but this is normally what is being the rule right now with all these other plans and patterns. For instance, the ones from PvP, you don't need to have any professions to actually get some. Same with others. So in my opinion, I would say that you can do it on any characters and hopefully you have a chance. But again, I'll try to provide more information on that after Wednesday. Also, as they will have the release of the season 1 for PvP, what you might want to do is try to get your hands, if you are crafting some items, your hands on these different PvP plans because the eye level is really, really good. It's going to be basically the same eye level as all the different conquest gear and everything. So I'm pretty sure they will have a huge demand for these different items during the first few days and probably like the first week because people will want to be very competitive. So if you can try to find some of these plans now, you will definitely, I'm sure you will get some like personal orders and requests in order to craft some of this gear. You can also try to farm them yourself by doing some PvP, but of course it's very rare. So it's going to take you a lot of time before you see one of those. But this is something I would maybe recommend because really I think they will have a huge demand for these items after Tuesday, Wednesday, when the PvP season will be launched. One other thing you want to pay attention to is whether they will have new world BoEs or not added into the game. So this is something that, for instance, Blizzard decided to do in Shadowlands. I remember like new BoEs were added when new seasons were starting. So maybe with the start of season 1, Blizzard is finally going to add some new world BoEs. If that's the case, I would highly recommend you to go in the group search and just try to type like BoEs, and normally you will find a lot of different groups doing these different farms. And like that, you will most likely be able to make a lot of gold during the first few days just by selling the BoEs. Again, right now, we don't know if they will have new BoEs. We don't know what their eye level will be and everything. So just keep that in mind. But if that's the case, really try to do it, and I'm sure you'll make a lot of gold. Finally, what I would highly recommend you to do is simply flipping all these different items, whether it's the plans, recipes, or also the different BoEs. This is something that I'm sure if you are able to do it, you will make a lot of gold with. Because keep in mind, they will have a huge scarcity for all these different raid BoEs. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are going to be able to farm them and to post them on the auction house. So if you find some cheap auctions, try to buy them and resell them because really these will sell very fast. So this is a big recommendation, something I'm planning on doing for sure. And also with all the different plans and recipes, if you again find some that are not too expensive, try to do it just before, try to check whether it's difficult or not to get these different recipes. because if it's very easy, then the prices are only going to go lower and lower after that. So then it's not a good idea. But if you see that it's very rare and there is not a lot on the auction house and someone is trying to maybe sell it for like a very ridiculous price, maybe 20, 30k gold, something like that, then buy it and resell it. And I'm sure you'll be able to make a lot of profit just by doing that. Keep in mind, again, of course, that flipping is always risky. You might end up actually selling it for less than what you bought it for, and then you might end up losing gold. But as part of the game, and if you have enough gold and if you enjoy flipping, then the start of season 1 is going to be a great moment to do that. So that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. I really hope it will help you better understand what you need to do on Wednesday in order to make a lot of gold with the release of season 1. Of course, keep in mind, we will probably also discover other things that will be added into the game, and so there will probably have other things you will need to do in order to make a lot of gold. But right now, these are the main things I can think of and that I wanted to update you on. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great Sunday. Bye!